This is Empire Total War video number 74, played as the United Provinces. This is the crunch year. This is the year that we're going to invade France and knock the French completely out of the game. My alternative was to become a pirate nation while I was building up various island economies. I've abandoned that idea for the lucrative Paris, principally because Paris just won't leave me alone. It just will continually attack me and continually drain my resources. They've really left me no choice but to wipe them out of the game. I'm sending my fleet up to the nearest Spanish island that I can find. The idea of that is that if any ships were to appear in the centre of the Caribbean Sea there, I'd be able to pick them off and gain some more income through that, of course. That sign there, anchor there, is probably to say that I raided a trade route or something, because I've sat it outside the Spanish island. This is Guatemala that I took a few turns ago. Took it after Mexico. It's still not taxable. If I start to tax it, I get all those minuses, all those brown that you can see on the bottom of each line there. That's all resistance to foreign occupation, and there's a bit of religious unrest, all that sort of stuff as well. So it's going to take me a long time to be able to settle that, unless of course I can buy troops. And you buy troops in an area like that, it costs you money, and you're not generating enough wealth from the area to pay for the troops. I can't afford to get rid of any of these buildings and build new ones. A church, for instance, or something, pleasure gardens to settle the population. So we really are struggling in that way. I've got some new money, of course. I was looking at ways there that I could spend it on something that in the future is going to start generating me some money. So the alternative would have been to go a pirate on the high seas, lose some ships and therefore save the amount of money I'm spending on ships, gain wealth from attacking other nations' ships and selling them as prize money, and then using that money to build various industrial buildings around the place to get a more stable economy in the future. That was plan A. Plan B is to do what is historically quite incorrect, really, and that's to attack and take France. I've decided to go for plan B. I know I've said that before. These are the dragoons that I've been building, since I've got the technology, the military technology, which is is it the carbine, is it? I'm not sure I remember now, but it allows me to have dragoons. I know invading France means that I don't want to damage that building I've just moved into, but it's a long way from Amsterdam all the way to Paris, and I need to stop off on the way. I can't go round that building because it takes me off the road and around it. Means that those dragoons wouldn't actually reach where I want them to go. So I'm going to have to use that as a stepping stone. Just do one turn's worth of damage, not as I have done before, go in and out of it, in and out of it. Blimey, that's hard to say, isn't it? Until it becomes completely damaged. Because I obviously want that to be in a good condition for when I take Paris. When I take Paris, now those pleasure gardens up there are going to give me a plus on the French nation's attitude towards me. So there we go. I've just auto-resolved that. There's about 30 small units of Phylacom citizenry inside there. I've got to go over walls and everything. It's a massive fortification. It would have been half an hour's battle, that, pausing it and being careful. So there's a bit of an anticlimax. Quebec's now come into being because all those French territories in the northern parts of America, they've all now gone over to a new nation called Quebec. I'm now replenishing the buildings. This is what I'm using my money for, that I gain from my ships. I haven't spent the money on the ships. I haven't replenished the fleet. It's still ragged. I'm spending that money on these things. So what I'm doing is getting rid of his university, which unsettles the population. Any freedom of thought unfortunately unsettles the population. So get rid of the university, get rid of his Catholic churches as well, which I have done. So I got rid of that one, got rid of the university. I should then be able to build something that's going to be favourable to me in the future. So spend a bit of money repairing that one that I personally damaged. If you will notice, I didn't go around damaging all his buildings this turn, of course, either, because I wanted them all to be intact, all the ones that I want anyway to be intact. This shows you how poor France are, or rather how poor their attitude is towards us, it will always be a very, very big minus. I've noticed that if when you take somewhere you keep it in the red to begin with anyway for the first turn and just take taxes off it, they hardly ever rebel in the first turn, so you take the rebellion in the second turn. Also, a rebellion isn't such a bad thing. Sometimes I encourage rebellion, provided I've got enough troops to be able to handle it, because if you defeat a rebellion, the resistance to foreign occupation goes down considerably. So it's actually worth promoting rebellion in some ways. So in other words, keep them at a minus, keep them unhappy with you, quite highly unhappy with you, and continually tax them, because you get money from it while you're taxing them, and also then you create a rebellion which you can go on and suppress. Okay, so that's me doing my bit in France. So just having a look over in Ceylon now. Same drill. I'm trying to find out really how I can get some long-term income, because if there's going to be a sustained period of time when I can't earn anything from France, and my resources are taken away for defending, perhaps against Spain from the south, then I need really to have some income coming in from somewhere. So Ceylon is fairly well settled. Got a good tax rate on there as well. I'm still concerned about the Marathas because they do come out and attack you. But one of the great benefits of taking France is that you get the port of Marseille. And the port of Marseille, by this time, I'd noticed, and that's one of the reasons for my attack as well, is a commercial basin. When it's a commercial basin, you can add the numbers of nations that you can trade with. A commercial basin is much bigger than just a trading port. So all those nations that weren't there available before to be traded with now become available. Marseille is very vulnerable, right down in the south of France there. My troops are all in Amsterdam, Northern Europe, or in Paris holding the place, so it's difficult to spare people to be able to help with Marseille and support it. So Spain will deliberately just go straight for that and attack that port. I need to defend that somehow. It's going to be difficult for me to get out by sea, so I'm going to have to put some troops in there to try and defend it. In the meantime, I'm going to use the fact that I've got a commercial port now, give anything that I can in order to get trade with any of these nations. Every trade agreement I get is worth somewhere between 7 and 1100. What would it be, guilders or dollars at this time? I'm not too sure. But it's a substantial income that I get from every one of these. Now I know there's piracy around, they can't raid all the routes, but they'll take some of that money away. Other than that, it's worth it. And with stealing technology, I am actually technology rich. Yeah. So what I can do is negotiate technology in order to in order to get trade with people. So a couple of technologies that I've stolen from somebody else anyway might get me a trade agreement worth sometimes up to 1100 guilders perhaps per turn. So it's definitely worth considering. I try all sorts of different negotiations here in order to develop these agreements. Sometimes I remove this from the game that I'm playing, because I think it's tedious for you to watch every turn me trying to negotiate. But believe you me, every single turn I've tried to negotiate peace with France and also with Spain, trade agreements. I do diplomacy with virtually every nation every single turn, so it takes me a long time to get around it. I just don't want to expose you to having to look at that each time. I also always do ministers, just as a quick reminder, just to improve any ministers we've got in position. Remember, we are a democracy in Holland, which means that that every 7 turns, I believe it is, every 7 turns, we get a completely new set of ministers and therefore a new cabinet, and some of those cabinet members are better than others, so I need to replace those as well. So again, a bit tedious to go through those every time, so I ignore it. But I've left this on this time so you can see the incredible amount of income that you can get from diplomacy, particularly when you develop something like the commercial port. And it's worth noting for people who do take France as well, or indeed any other country that has an improved port area, that you can make the most of that. Okay. So, coming to the end of this video now, it's all going to now be about consolidating France from here on in and defending Marseille, particularly from the Spanish. Yeah.